The name IROKO, people always ask what does IROKO means. IROKO is a tree. It's a mythical tree, one of the strongest trees you find in Africa. Within West Africa, especially Nigeria, where the name comes from, people believe that as a tree it has supernatural powers, it has magical powers. So there are a lot of myth and legends about the supernatural powers of the IROKO tree. My name is Alex Omapayas. I founded IROKO in 1996. I have a pool of workshop leaders. One of them is Odate Lamte, who is our master drummer and drumming workshop leader. I also have Vicky Juvenile, who takes the dance workshop. From time to time, I bring in voluntary workers. I have Rookie, who was usually volunteering for us. Yes, IROKO Cultural Olympiad project is primarily to use our work to enhance community cohesion within Neom. That is why most of the activities are taking place in community settings, in parks, in family centers. We discover that our work does bring people together. Whether you're holding workshops, music workshop, for instance, you see people from all backgrounds, irrespective of nationalities. They're taking part in the project. You can see the joy they're receiving from it. They tell you this. You watch their eyes. You see families who are carrying out activities together with their children, or working together with people from other cultures. Singing and drumming, especially using cross rhythm, which is different rhythms played at the same time. You see how people from different cultures are trying to make sure that a certain musical pace is properly devised as they work together, singing, chanting along. Through this cultural Olympiad, they have been able to see different aspects of Africa. If you look at some of the feedbacks we have.
I think it's fantastic, and I like the way it educates children as well, with the drumming and all that, without children knowing that they're learning, but they do learn out of it.
I'm gonna finish.
You get to do stuff that you've never done before, like the tie-dyeing. We made loads of patterns, that's my favourite. And the paint, and the face painting, the mask making and the drumming, because some people don't know how to make all these stuff. So like when they do this, they can go, they learn something new and they can go and tell their friends, I did this, and their friends can go tell, and you can pass it and it can be like spreading.
This type of project is good for the spiritual health. It's good for bringing families together, and these are actually why the project is designed, so that people can come through music, through dance workshop, and release emotions, through dance, through chanting, spiritual well-being. So you can fuse in different dance movements from other cultures into this. Through that, at the same time, a sort of cultural education for those who do not know anything about Africa. They now have a bit of experience about African dance, African drumming, African music, the names of the instruments. Somehow a sort of seed is being sown, and they're becoming more inquisitive about Africa. And this project has helped. We know a lot of people, to see Africa in a different light, to see Africa in a positive way. We have especially within the black community. I always use the word identity crisis because at times you see most young people who reluctantly, not recognize their heritage. But it's interesting that when a company like us, we go to schools, for instance, the first reactions of maybe rejection or usually comes from Afro-Caribbean peoples. Come on, Jenny! Hey! But what we know that our work does give self-esteem and confidence, and you can see that through that our workshop, our performance has had an impact in terms of actually showing them who they are, and within that moment they're feeling proud. They're feeling proud of who they are, who they had rejected they are. One of the ethos of this program is mainly to see how we can use our work to enhance community cohesion. When we are doing some workshop with the under fives and their families, how we use rhythm, rhymes, games, to introduce the very young and their parents to counting, using everyday techniques to enhance your child's numeracy skills, to enhance your communication skills, because through using repetition, these are things parents normally might not count as important. The very young under fives, all they enjoy is repetition. You're playing with a child, he wants you to repeat that game over and over and over. It is this type of techniques, using rhythm, that we have actually tried to incorporate in our work, and showing parents, how they could use that. Informally, a child is playing, you're there with you in the kitchen, you bring in rhythmic, arithmetic, if you can call it that way, through songs, and the child is learning without actually knowing that they are learning. One of the things that has actually gone down very well in this project has been the tie and dye workshops. This actually is more like a new addition to our work. People constantly asking about art, and having worked with Studio Gogo in another area, and I thought he would be the man to bring it to the project. How through tie and dye making, families can come together. Each time I see them working, trying to design a piece of, do a pattern on a piece of cloth, I find that amazing, and you can see the joy in their faces when they finally, bring it out, the call of the pattern. Play making, get the children to, messy work, out to manual dexterity, really, be able to use their hand, mold the clay film. We think it is good because some children, some don't even know what clay is, but through this workshop, they can see how you can use clay to make, clay modeling, to do different type of mask making and statuette and so on. The sky is the limit with the imagination. Whatever you think you can mold and so on.
Now, can we make the sound of rain? Are you watching? We're just going up, 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 and down, down, down. Too slow. Come on. Up and down. So we're going to do pass. I'm going to show you a very simple African technique of getting this into a perfectly round ball. Two hands close to your belly button. You know what your belly button is? Round and round.